Hi there, welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to show you how to draw using precise dimensions in SketchUp. Open a template that is appropriate for your drawing project. This one is architectural design in millimeters. Change your view to the top view so you're looking down on the drawing plane. If you can't see this useful menu around your screen, activate it by going to the View menu, Toolbars, and place a tick next to the Views option. Click Close to accept the changes. I want to place the rectangle in this area up here, so I'm going to pan so I can see more of this area. Select the Rectangle tool and click once to begin drawing a basic 2D rectangle. Now notice as you drag, measurements are shown in the measurements box at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. These alter as you drag. I'm going to draw a set of steps, beginning with a rectangle, and then I will cut the steps out of this rectangle. The overall dimensions of the starting geometry will be 5,000 millimeters wide by 3,000 millimeters deep. Now that I have the rectangle tool activated, I can type in 5,000, 3,000 to create a rectangle of this size. Press Enter to accept these measurements. When I typed in the measurement, the first measurement that I typed in was 5,000, which represented the red x-axis. The second, 3,000, represented the y or green axis. Press down on the mouse wheel to activate the Orbit tool and rotate until you have a 3D view. I'm going to activate the Push-Pull tool to assign a 3D property to the 2D rectangle. Hover the cursor over the 2D shape. Once it's highlighted, click and drag upwards. While still active in this tool, type in a height of 600 to give this rectangle an accurate height. As you type, notice the digits appear in the measurements box. You do not have to click in this box. SketchUp is always waiting for you to input a number. Press Enter to accept these dimensions. Next, let's learn about how to create a void. A void can be placed on any 3D object. Say for example if we use the Circle tool. We can draw a circle on any face, click and drag. To specify the size of the circle, click to finish. Using our Push-Pull tool, we can click and drag to create a void. We can click and drag to create an extrusion. I'm going to click on Edit Undo a couple of times so that we can return to our 3D rectangle. As we're creating a set of steps, I want to create a void on this corner here. The void will be shaped like a rectangle and we'll remove this portion here, leaving a small step remaining. I'm going to choose the Rectangle tool. Then I'll hover over a corner of the existing 3D object. I'm going to click here to begin drawing. As I drag, you can see a rectangle appearing on the face. I want to create a rectangle that is 750 millimeters long and 400 millimeters deep. Activate the Push-Pull tool, click and drag to create the void. This leaves us with a remaining height of 200 millimeters to represent our step. Continue to push-pull this step. Once you reach the back face, click and the creation of the void will be complete. Repeat this process again to create another step here. Click on the Rectangle tool, click and drag, insert dimensions, 750, this time our height will be 200, press Enter to confirm. This leaves a remaining height of 400 here. Again, use your Push-Pull tool to click and drag. Now let's draw more geometry. This time we'll use the Pencil tool. Let's draw a building adjacent to the set of steps. Where do we begin drawing? Let's use existing geometry. We'll line the building up so that the midpoint of the set of steps is also the midpoint of the building. We have to be careful where we click to begin drawing. If we start to draw along this edge here, our building will hover 600 millimeters off the ground plane. Let's rotate our drawing so that we can see the back edge of the steps. I'm going to move my mouse along this bottom edge until I find the midpoint. This is indicated by a blue dot. This is called an Inference Point. These are snap points that SketchUp places on existing geometry to aid drawing accuracy and efficiency. Other inference points that you may see are the blue diamond to indicate on face, the red square to indicate on edge, and the green dot to indicate an endpoint. So to create the building geometry, I'm going to look for the midpoint. I'm going to click to begin. I'll zoom out. I'm going to drag in this direction and type in 6,000. Press Enter. To drag this direction, it might be difficult to find the green axis. So I'm going to change my view to the top view. Now I need to pan. So while still in this tool, a combination of the control button and my mouse wheel pressed at the same time will activate the pan tool while I'm still in the pencil tool. I'm going to drag until I find the green axis. I'm going to type in 9000 and press enter. Now I want to drag in the direction of the red axis. To constrain my drawing only to the red axis, I can click on the right arrow key on my keyboard. This constrains my drawing to only the red axis. I'm going to type in 12,000 and press enter. A way to remember this, right red, meaning right arrow, red axis. Now I'm going to drag downwards to look for the green axis. This time, if I press my left arrow, it will constrain my drawing to the green axis. I'm going to type in 9000, press enter. To bring me back to the start, I'm going to drag along the red axis, I'm going to type in 6000 and press enter to close this geometry. SketchUp adds a face to the area between the closed lines of the shape just drawn. Orbit to see the results. Notice how the 2D rectangle has been drawn on the ground plane. Now I'm going to add a height to it using the push-pull tool. I'm going to hover over until it's selected, click, drag upwards, and type in the value of 6000 and press enter to confirm. You'll see that during that extrusion process, these 3 lines were added, where the touching geometry marked the extrusion. Delete these lines by using the eraser tool. Click to select, then click on the lines you want to delete from the model. Let's add a pitched roof to our sketch building. The quickest way to do this is to split this top face. I'm going to do this using the line tool. Click to select. Look for a midpoint along one of the shorter edges of the rectangle. Click to begin drawing and drag until you find the midpoint of the parallel line of the rectangle. This face has now been split. To create a pitch, we'll move this line upward. Before we can move it, we need to select the line. Click on the black select arrow. Use this to click on the line just drawn. It turns blue to indicate that it has been selected. Now use the move tool. Click once to activate and to begin to drag. I want to ensure that this is being dragged upwards in the right direction. So I'm going to drag until I see a blue dotted line appear that will infer that I am moving along the blue axis. To ensure this, I'm going to click on the up arrow on my keyboard. I'm going to type in 2500, press enter. Our next tutorial will cover the move tool in more detail, the rotate and copy commands, selecting objects, grouping and measuring them. Thank you.